For the last 3 years, I've been very interested in productivity and how to get a lot of things done. Back then, I was walking and playing Pokemon Go 6 hours a day at a very hardcore level, while studying for my bachelor's degree full time and working 2 part-time jobs, transcriber and student ambassador. This was all possible thanks to my big interest in productivity. I was an avid user of David Allen's Getting Things Done methodology and Cal Newport's time blocking method. Both of them helped me get organized, stay focused, get good grades at school, gain appreciation at work, and ultimately achieve my biggest dream at the time, first in Sweden and 17th in the world to reach 1 billion XP in Pokemon Go. I was never burnt out during that time, thanks to my regular transcendental meditation practice, which I had learned since childhood. I knew back then how important rest, good food and restoration were. Thus I was always prioritizing well-being right now, knowing that it will lead to well-being in the future. Fast forward to June 2021, I quit Pokemon Go due to diminished interest, together with my 2 part-time jobs. I graduated from the university and fell into a void of confusion, change and uncertainty. In other words, I did not exactly know what to do with my life. It was then that I asked myself, what is the absolute best way to live, both right now and in the future? From then, I read and listened voraciously 5 to 6 hours a day. And this question also led me into entrepreneurship, setting up a blog and writing a new post every day since late November. To this day, I've written 264 articles exploring this question deeper and deeper. I also received a job offer in Poland, a country I've never been to before. The experience of moving in, navigating a different culture where English was rarely spoken, and receiving constant shadowing of well thought out plans refined my writing philosophy dramatically, introducing a level of integration and adaptability I've never seen before in the productivity world. From this spring, I believe I found the answer to the question. It might certainly be more refined during the next upcoming years and decades or so, but for now it seems like everything I've consumed in terms of best-selling non-fiction literature, research on psychology and performance, and my experience and experiments has led out to this exact conclusion if you follow the logical steps. The answer is by practicing total living. So what I call total living and the total living lifestyle is a grand sum of best daily practices that allow you to enjoy life to the fullest every second. You're also in a better position to get what you want in life much faster while enjoying every step of the way. So in other words, get what you want in life while enjoying this exact moment. Get the cake and eat it too. Another way to illustrate it, imagine yourself having achieved this desired salary, job role, location, partner, body weight, learning goal, gold medal, children or financial freedom and everything that is considered very good and highly desirable in life. Notice a big relief, relaxation and smile, the absence of worrying self-talk, the heartwarming ease and love, the proud posture and the deep satisfaction. With total living, you can access this wonderful feeling whenever you want to, regardless of your external circumstances. The total living lifestyle consists of 3 main pillars: total presence, personality fragility, and hyperproductivity. Total presence is a mental state behind flow, deep focus, charisma, empathy, intense love, creativity, happiness, mindfulness, and every positive experience in life really. Because then your self-talk is gone and you can fully internalize what you see, hear and feel, getting the awareness needed to progress forward. When you're totally present, you are the most effective for whatever you want to do. And then we have personal anti-fragility, and it's an application derived from the book Anti-Fragile by Nassim Taleb. This book is my favorite of all time, read it 17 times, not kidding. In this book, Taleb presents multiple cases of things, systems and people benefiting and gaining from chaos, volatility, and adversity and uncertainty. So in other words, The more you try to harm it, the stronger it becomes. Like the Greek mythological creature Hydra, who grows 2 heads back when one is cut off. So for you and me, anti-fragility is the mindset we use to reinterpret and reframe everything that happens to us and everything that is as positive and beneficial. It allows you to become stronger and wiser, especially if bad things happen to you. You get a new relationship with struggle and misery and thus become unstoppable. And finally, hyperproductivity refers to the overall strategy, tactics and best practices to organize and manage your life the best way, accomplishing more and more every single day while doing less. Thanks to leverage such as people, systems, money, media and stuff like that. You do not need to have excessive thoughts in your head because you have offloaded them to systems you trust. You also only do the essential things and can delegate more and more to systems and people. So if you are in the present moment almost all the time, progressing from everything that happens from you to propel you forward and getting more impact and enjoyment every day, you are a practitioner of total living. This brings us to the next point, how to get started with total living. In my free ebook, The Ultimate Guide to Total Living, I detail 5 steps that will ease you into this lifestyle without any major hiccups. The best part is that you will receive major benefits already from step 1 and onwards. Step 1. Instantly achieve total presence. Getting into total presence is easier than you think. As Andrew Huberman says, you have to, quote, use the body to control the mind, end quote. There are 4 proven techniques that you can act upon in real time from wherever you are. These techniques are deliberate breathing, staring, attentive listening, and enhanced interoception, a very fancy word for feeling your body. Deliberate breathing is when you put your full attention to your normal breathing. As soon as you notice your inhales and exhales, you become totally present, grounded in the current situation. If you're tired and want to be more alert, inhale longer than you exhale. If you're anxious, jittery, and want to be more relaxed, exhale longer than you inhale. Then we also have staring, and getting our visual focus in the right place will amplify your mental focus and attention, because we as humans are incredibly visual creatures and you can use it to your advantage. So next time you feel distracted, just look at a particular place. You don't necessarily need to stare, but just put your gaze there and don't break it. Then we also have attentive listening, which is especially useful when you are with other people and want to give them your fullest honor, understanding and attention. It is also highly beneficial when you're listening to audiobooks and podcasts. The last technique is to feel your body while breathing. The more you feel the tensions, nervousness and pain, the better, since you can relax now, since you have acknowledged them and ultimately let your body take care of them. Once you do either of these 4, the self-talk will be momentarily gone but will come back very easily. To stay in the present moment much longer and more continuously, remember that almost all thoughts and distractions do not need to be taken seriously unless they are very important, of course. Just notice when you're drifting and do one of the 4 techniques again. Either breathe, look at a particular place, attentively listen and feel your body to come back to the present moment. Then we have step 2. Become familiar with personal anti-fragility. And in this video right here, I go through in a little bit more detail about the 9 core principles of personal anti-fragility. But in short, they are the following. 1. Always look for challenge, growth and pain. 2. When in doubt, remove, don't add new things. And 3. Be both extremely safe and risky, so balance between the more orderly and more chaotic parts, which can be applied to many different aspects. The 4th is to not set goals and expectations, but you should adjust to the present instead. Tune in your habits, expand your options, and size opportunities instead. The 5th is to prepare to benefit from the worst scenario, because then you're truly unstoppable. 6. Love imperfect action and small errors, because they propel you forward, both in terms of focus and in terms of external rewards. And 7. trust nature and do not unnecessarily intervene. 8 is to view criticism a good sign, whether good or bad, because now you get the attention and it will always be that way. And the last one, value practice and own experience over theory and what others say to you, including what I say to you actually. To change your mindset from a fragile to an anti-fragile one, notice whenever you feel unhappy in some sense. Then ask why and continue asking until you find the core belief behind it. Then replace it with one of the principles. For example, imagine you procrastinate on finding a particular assignment. After many whys, you find out you're secretly afraid of this assignment not being good and you've wasted a ton of effort. But by applying principles 1 and 7, you will start enjoying the process, trusting that it will be good because you put in the time and ultimately your core abilities. And if not, it's the perfect time to implement the 6th principle, which is small errors and loving imperfect action, because then your next one is going to be much better. So it will be all positive and success down the line. But expect that it will take a while before the mindset kicks in. But the more you do it, the more unstoppable you become. Then we have step 3. Expand your current daily awareness. Because here's the truth, you already have the awareness that you need, but the mind is too occupied keeping track of commitments, ideas and everything that bothers you. So that is the current situation and why mental clarity might not be there at most of the time. But by offloading what you need to remember to a calendar, task manager and note-taking tool, you get more room to be more creative, strategic and present. And to illustrate the difference, imagine a loud constant fan suddenly turned off. You were previously unaware of it, but the relief afterwards is extremely noticeable. This is what you can expect from an external system. The simplest way to do this is to put every commitment, meeting and everything you must do on the calendar. In your task manager, enter everything you can do when you don't have anything else to do. So whenever you have unplanned time, blank space in your calendar, you can go into the task manager and do something you just feel like doing, having some fun. And in the note-taking app, you can write down all ideas, references, quotes, sources, reflections and other things you not want to forget. So whenever you have an involuntary thought that cannot get out from your head, write it down in the calendar if it's something that you must do at a particular time, or the task manager if it's something you might want to do or can do, or use a note-taking tool if it's for everything else. As long as you do this, the system will organize itself and you do not need to worry about maintaining it. Step 4 is to free your time and ultimately your energy, because according to Pareto's law, only a tiny fraction of what you do gives you the majority of results and fulfillment. Therefore, you can safely cut off 80% of your daily or weekly activities and it will not be affecting your results and enjoyment so much. So it's very beneficial for you. You get a lot of extra time for free, which you can reinvest in restful activities and other things that are very restorative and fun. What you do is much more important than how much you do it. And I'm going to say it again because it's very important. What you do is much more important than how much you do it. And by now, you have a clear sense of your commitments thanks to your calendar. To identify these essential tasks, ask the following 3 questions. 1. Which are the 20% that produce my intended results, impact and enjoyment? Second question. Which are the 20% that are responsible for most of my stress and unhappiness? And third question. What is the one thing I can do, such as by doing it, everything else will become easier or unnecessary? And now we have step 5. Increase your impact with exploration, optimization, and delegation. The difference between an average knowledge worker and Jeff Bezos is leverage. With more leverage, you can accomplish more with less. To acquire leverage from scratch, I've discovered a 3-stage pattern for every activity that can be done by anyone. And this also applies to learning and becoming better in general. The first stage is exploration, which is a fancy term for trial and error and testing things out. The more you put yourself in this uncomfortable position, the faster you learn and grow, because errors give you the information. to propel you forward. Stage 2 is optimization. After you figure it out, you want to optimize it for speed, convenience and quality. If it's important at all, because otherwise eliminate it, figure out how you can get rid of as many steps and movements as possible. Identify the biggest constraint, the tightest bottleneck and the weakest link to make the activity go faster. And then finally, stage 3, which is delegation. With increasing means, you can delegate more of what you did to systems and people. While time is finite and everyone has 24 hours, even Jeff Bezos, there is practically no limit to how much you can outsource and automate. Thus you gain more and more leverage, accomplishing more while doing less. So for everything you do, keep this model in mind. Know when you're exploring and trying stuff out, and know when you're optimizing and getting better. And finally, know when to delegate and how. So when you have internalized all the 5 steps, living the total living lifestyle is very easy actually. In my experience, you only need to remember 5 things. 1. Be present as often as possible using the 4 methods, which is breathe, look intently, attentively listen, or feel the body. Do not take your thoughts so seriously, but just return to these techniques whenever you feel non-present, and it will become longer and longer over time. Second one is to view everything that happens to you as beneficial. Identify the scared part of you and reassure it, knowing that you will benefit from the worst case scenario, and even better, you will actually want it because you know that it will propel you forward compared to most other people. It will give you the unfair advantage that will ultimately characterize and differentiate yourself, making you unique and idiosyncratic. The third is to adjust your calendar, task manager and note-taking system every day when you need to, so you can safely forget what you need to remember. It's the most effective way to get rid of overwhelm and bad stress. The fourth is to get out of your comfort zone as often as possible. In other words, do trial and error and stuff like that. Hyper-optimize what works and delegate when you can. Finally, always know that you can enjoy life right now or not at all. Find joy in the hard work and find joy in the stillness. And I want to emphasize on this last point here, because by viewing the current moment as the ultimate destination, you will get the salvation that you ultimately deserve. The future is, after all, going to be manifested as right now, but in a different time. But it's still going to feel like it's in this current moment. So if you regularly pay attention and make right now a priority, in other words, if you give all to the present, the future will always turn out to be the best for you. So once again, these are the 5 steps to become a total life enjoyer, a practitioner of total living. And now you know how to get what you want in life and enjoy the process to the fullest. And speaking of enjoying the process, almost nothing is as fulfilling, pleasurable, enjoyable and overall awesome as the flow state. It feels like time and everything has disappeared while you do your absolute best work in a state of bliss and excitement. So you can click this video right here to learn more about unleashing this flow. I'll see you there.